What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome. If you are new here, my name is Jessica, and this is the Jessica Diaries. And I'm 3 for 3 with Belle Collective, y'all. This is my episode 3 review. And there's a lot to get into. It's a lot of the same old, but still a lot to get into. But you see the ticker at the bottom. If you enjoy this video as you're watching, please give it a like. And if you want to meet me back here next week for another review, make sure you hit subscribe. So we're picking up with this episode at Selena's birthday party. This is after she has called Letitia and Latrice and the rest of the Bells to come out and hash their issues out. And it was a lot. It was a lot to see. It was very juvenile, in my opinion. Well, before I get there, let me say this. Number one, Selena, love your girl, but this was not the time nor the place for this conversation to be had. Now, we know this is a reality show. You guys have producers. I'm pretty sure a producer put the bug in the ear, like, hey, I need y'all to go out. Let's make this scene happen. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But it wasn't the time or the place. I can't see anyone in real life trying to have that type of conversation at their actual birthday party. So we know that there had to be orchestrated. I won't say that Selena was messy for trying to do that, but I will say that it was messy. It turned out messy because two grown women who have an issue with one another, if they want to talk about it, they know how to talk about it. They shouldn't be encouraged to do that. And it's very much something that should have happened between just them two. I did not like the whole group plus their friends and the extras and everybody coming out there. That was just way too much for me. As they were going back and forth and you did it, no I didn't, yes you did, all that, I'm with Marie. Call Josh. Call him right now. Like, when Marie said that, I'm like, yes girl, please. Let's just get Josh on the line and see what's going on. Now, at this point in the episode, I'm looking down in my notes. I put that I believe Josh is lying. I do believe that he is lying. At best, he's not being completely honest. There's some half truths going on there. But I think he's lying more than I believe Letitia is lying. Folks are saying that in previous seasons, Letitia set Tambra up or something. So they're like, this is her karma. I left off the show after season 1 or 2, so I really don't remember that. But either way, this whole thing is too much, and I feel like it's blown out of proportion. Again, like I said last week, if she did it and she say she did it, now what? Like, what are we doing all this for? I do, and y'all are probably not gonna agree with me, but I do believe that Glenn did the right thing as Letitia's husband and told her, look, you are not going to win. This is Latrice and someone who used to work for her. You're not going to win this. You need to go. That is what a husband should do. Now, I like that Glenn. If that Glenn can show up and defend his wife instead of being someone who contributes to her looking foolish, I can get with Glenn. I think that he did the right thing. My husband most definitely would have done that. He not about to stand around and let nobody gang up on me. Now, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I just said I feel like it was very unnecessary for everyone to come out while they were having that conversation. I mean, if you want to say let the Bells come out, let the Bells come out. But all those other people, that was too much. Now, Carrie made a comment about Marie not having Tisha's back. And I disagree with Carrie on that. There was no need, again, for Marie or anyone else to get involved. This was a situation between Latrice and Letitia. And I think that everybody out there just wanted a moment. They just wanted to be part of the scene. They just wanted to be seen, wanted to know what's going on. Like, it was just a mess and very high schoolish, very juvenile. And this might be why my circle is like this small. Because I don't have these type of problems with folks. It's hard for me to understand why grown women, a mother and an entrepreneur who has a reputation that she says she cares about, will be outside of a venue during a party conducting themselves in that way. That was not cool. And thinking about like how they were going back and forth, honestly, I feel like this is more about Latrice hurting Letitia. And tell me if I'm wrong, but it just feels like, especially after she made the comment about get a real business, and like it seems like she wants to humble her, like she wants to hurt her, like she takes pleasure in, like, I don't know. It's just something there. Like that is, in my opinion, a very unnatural level of disdain, a level of hatred almost for someone to have with somebody that they just don't care about. I can't imagine fighting with someone. We say what we gotta say, we're done. All this back and forth, like I really don't understand it. And I'm gonna be honest. Again, y'all might disagree, but this does not look good for Latrice. She is coming off very mean spirited and just nasty. I don't know. Let me know if y'all get where I'm coming from. Because last season, you are the same person who not only you brought your friend and hairstylist in as your minion to stir up mess with Letitia and Glenn. Let's be real. That's what happened, because you sat in that salon chair and Kiki while she was making these comments. If that was your so-called friend then, because by the end of that season, y'all crying together at the coast for Carrie's trip, that should have never happened. So for that to have happened, and then like now Latrice is like this huge victim, and Letitia was just so out of line for contacting her employee. Something's not adding up for me. Like it has to be deeper than this. It has to be something else there. I just don't see somebody calling your ex-employee to get information being just this thing that just make you want to fight, and you calling people bitches. And I don't get that. If I'm missing something, y'all let me know. Speaking of Letitia's friend, it was interesting how Amanda's trying to come in Marie like right and wrong and right. And ma'am, you're the same woman who admitted to conversing with a married man in your DM saying he was your type. I said it last season and I'll say it again. I think something else went on between them. Maybe I'm wrong, but you're the last person that should be talking about standing for what's right. Because not only did you come on the show wrong, you behaved in a very unbecoming way for people to see you. When I'm thinking about being on a national platform on TV, you can start up drama, you can do all that, but let's have some integrity and class. Let your introduction be to the world be something positive, not you saying a married man is your type because he kind of ugly, but then you're talking about his wife and body shaming her on this platform that she's on. It's just too much. I'm just like, Amanda, you shouldn't even be saying anything right now. This definitely ain't got nothing to do with you. You the last woman that should be speaking on that other woman that Latrice is not liking. So I don't know. There was just a lot for me. So they move on to Tisha's home. She's talking on the phone with Glenn. I think that he did the right thing by removing his wife. I can't say that they would have jumped her like she told him. If he wouldn't have been there or if he wouldn't have done it, they would have jumped her. I disagree with that. I don't think that they were going to jump her. But then again, a lot of people end up dead who they didn't think they were going to die. Things do happen when situations get out of control. So if Tisha felt the energy like she was going to get jumped either by Latrice or who else, who's to say that she didn't feel that? It didn't look like it was going to go to that level to me. Marie comes over, Shantae comes over, and I, again, agree with Marie. I can't believe I'm like this Marie fan now. She's definitely my favorite on the cast. She was my favorite last season, and she is again so far this season. And y'all, if you go back some years ago for my first review when the show first premiered, I did not see it for Marie. I did not think she was a nice woman. Like, I didn't like Marie's character, but she has grown on me so much. She's my favorite on this show. And I just agree with her. Like, it's not that serious to be about to fight. especially, with the history, with the platforms that these women have. It's not that serious. Now, as for Shantae, she is loud and wrong. She's loud and wrong. You should not ever fight someone else's battles. Now, and this could be, I don't know. If it's not my husband, my children, my mama, I'm not about to get into nothing that don't have to do with me, Jessica. Now, I will defend those people. I'll go to bat for those people. But anybody else, I'm not getting in that. So I think Shantae is wrong. And again, this is this juvenile mindset. Like, we're grown women and you talking about coming in, not letting people talk about your friend. But the reality is you don't know what Letitia did. So there's a chance that you could be trying to stand up for your friend and your friend wrong as hell. And so I just, you don't know what's going on. So why would you jump in there or even try to defend her? If anything, you say, look, ladies, we're all dressed up. We're really pretty. We came out here to celebrate Selena. Let's table this because we're not getting anywhere. And if y'all feel the need to talk about it later, let's talk about it. If not, let it go. That, like, nobody needs to be jumping in. I just totally disagree with that. They both can hold their own. For Latrice to have been so upset when it happened and then back at the party, she was like happy. And I just know, like, if I'm pissed off to that extent where I'm back and forth, we're cursing each other out. It's been this whole, like Carrie said, a brouhaha or whatever she said. I'm leaving too. Like, I don't want to be here now. I done embarrassed myself. I'm out here acting the fool. Let's just go. So it was interesting that Latrice was back inside laughing and having a good time. That just kind of made it seem like you don't really care that she reached out to him for real, because you would still be pissed off, or you should be. So we go to Latrice's home for a birthday party redo. And I just can't get over how good Selena's jeans are. Like, girl, please tell us the secret. Selena, you should be selling some skincare or some beauty related stuff, because 50 looks amazing on you, sis. It looks amazing. I would think that after Latrice had such a serious health scare, a lot of people get blood clots and don't go back home from the hospital. I would think that her attitude would be better, that she would be nicer or more calm or just peaceful. But she just seems very mean. Like, she just seems mean and nasty. Overall, I think that Letitia and Latrice need to just let the friendship go. There is no friendship. We don't even remember why the collective even exists. So what's the point of trying to hold on to a friendship that's not friendshipping for the sake of a collective when y'all ain't even doing nothing collectively? I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. So we go to Carrie's scene with her family, and I just I want to like Carrie so bad, but she just annoys me outside of her comments about Jackson. But why is she discussing her so-called friends with her parents? And like, that was weird to me that they would be sitting there talking about that. Like, y'all don't have nothing else to talk about. Like, baby, how the kids, how y'all doing? Mama, y'all good? Your health good? What's going on over there at your house? What Uncle so-and-so do? Like, why are y'all talking about them? Why are you talking about them with your parents? That was weird. Then as she's talking about her so-called friends, the terminology that she's using, like, Carrie, do you hear yourself? You're saying that, is your mom going to judge you for your new friends? She told you if you play with trash, it'll get on you. Like, do you not understand that when you say that, you're saying that those women are trash? So on top of your comments about Jackson, now these women are trash. You worried about your mama judging you when you a grown woman with kids of your own. You sound like you have some type of deep-seated issue that you need to deal with. Because how disrespectful is that to refer to someone as trash? You didn't say they were trash, but the metaphor or whatever it's called, the saying that you use, you're saying that they are trash. And I don't see how any of the women could really be cool with Carrie after the continual comments about Jackson. You don't live there, so it's not like y'all hanging out for real. And then you refer to them as trash And is your mom gonna judge you? She seems like she comes from a family that has very high standards of her, for her to even be thinking about what her mama think of her friends, and for her parents to kind of act the way that they were acting. Like, y'all really do probably feel like you're above them. That's what it's giving. And if you're trying to appease your mom and you're worried about what she thinks about somebody you hanging with at your big age, that means it might be some issues with you and your mama and your upbringing that you need to deal with, because that was just weird. And then when she talked about like wanting some softness from her mom, when she was discussing her restaurant and the struggles that she's having with that, it just made me feel like that even more. And listen, I'm not judging, because my mama was not the most affectionate, not affectionate at all, was not very soft. So I get it. She reminds me a lot of Wendy from Potomac, how Wendy started up on this high horse and this, and that, and then her little skeleton started coming out, and now we see what's going on with her legally. But it's that I felt like there was just a very interesting little scene beyond what they were talking about, but just kind of showing a little bit of the dynamic between Carrie and her mom. But as far as her restaurant, I think I agree with her mom. I think she needs to let the restaurant go that's in Mobile. If it's not successful, if it's causing you stress and worry, then it may be a good idea to let it go and focus on the two locations that are thriving and helping them stay afloat. And I know that she said she would lose money, but I think it may be better to cut the loss now, especially if the money that you're losing is going to just compile and grow. So I think she needs to let the Mobile restaurant go. But her scene was underwhelming. Like, that's all you got, Carrie. You got half them people drive all the way to the coast to film you talking about the fight to your parents, and then a 1, 2, 3 liner about your restaurant. You got to give us more than that. So we moved to Tisha and her mom at the ceramic place. Tisha actually looked good in this scene. I feel like her makeup and hair looked good. She looked youthful. But she's talking about bank accounts. Why would she not have her own bank account? And why would her having her own bank account make Glenn uncomfortable? That's just very weird to me. And it doesn't go with her brand of empowerment, entrepreneurship. If they were in business together, maybe. But Letitia, you should have your own account. You kind of put yourself in this situation. It's like she woke up and she realized all the mistakes that she made when she was ready to go, instead of kind of using her head. So I'm not trying to laugh, but like, instead of making good decisions in your marriage as you're growing, like, how do you just realize that you needed your own account now when you're making a lot of money? Like, that should have been something that you already had. But I think that Tisha should listen to her mom more. Her mother made some very valid points. And I would like to see more of Letitia and her mom. You know how on Love and Marriage Huntsville, we got Melody's mom here or there. We got Wanda here or there. I would like to see more of Tisha and her mom. I think they would bring something fresh, maybe, or at least her mom would. So we moved to Latrice at home with Amanda and Cliff. Latrice, why do you need your friend to come and help you cook? You don't have kids, you got businesses, but you got employees, so these businesses kind of run themselves. What are you doing? Like, that you can't cook a meal for your husband. Then your ingredients are expired, so that means you don't really cook or maybe even make groceries. You could have even gotten food from Taste. Just had them cook it and somebody bring it out to you to feed Cliff. I mean, he was coming home and you missed him. Like, that just was not a good look. And I think that Latrice allows her friends in her personal life way too much. There's not a day in his life that another woman, friend or not, would be cooking for my husband. And I'm here. No, ma'am. I just think that she needs to put up some boundaries with her friends. I don't believe her when she says that she's not confrontational. When she was talking to Cliff, girl, you are on it. You're confrontational. And kind of passive aggressive. Like, you'll make the moves and say the things, and it turn you to the point where the other person gets defensive, and then the confrontation happens. You're confrontational. But she brought up Glenn like he got in her face, and that's not what happened. I didn't see Glenn do anything that I felt was inappropriate when it came to that argument. He did what a husband should do, and that is remove his wife for her protection in that situation. So I don't agree with the way that she ran it down to Cliff. And I think Cliff would have did the same for her. He would have told her to come on. Now the last thing is Glenn, he comes home with pizza. Letitia is still playing games. Glenn is crazy talking about people not playing with Letitia when you the one that played with her the most. Like you did what you was supposed to do as a husband and defend her and not let them play with her, as you would say. But you got to understand that that's what you're supposed to be doing in every way, period. Nobody should be able to play with your wife, not even you. And that's where you're falling short. And that's why y'all are in the situation that you're in. I think that Glenn knows that his grip on Letitia is loosening. He's losing his grip on her because of all the moves that she's making. So I think that that's why, or part of the reason why he wants to be more involved in her business dealings, and he's trying to build with her, because honestly, that's what she claimed that she wanted. But at the same time, I do think that Glenn makes some good points. I cannot believe like this is 2 times I agree with Glenn. But I think he did make some great points about her business dealings, especially with the man. Now, Donald made, some people are like, she don't want that old man, Glenn. But Donald is a threat, because you have to understand, when you are married, no, you become one flesh. Now, whether or not people, what's the word? Whether or not people live up to their vows, that is on them. But as far as marriage, from a Christian perspective, biblical perspective, you become one flesh. There should not ever be anyone in close proximity to a married person, work or otherwise. You cannot do that when you're married. It leads to problems. And I'm not even saying cross the line like flirting, but the fact that you're talking to another man all the time. This man is investing his money, his time in you. He is having conversations with you that you're not having with your husband, especially if y'all are already in a bad place. That man can become a threat to the marriage. In Letitia's case specifically, this man has access to her and her business endeavors and her dreams and her desires that she is actively blocking her husband from. And that's where the problem is. It's not that he's a threat because she might want him. You got to think, when you are married, it's bigger than that. Like, and it's something like, I really can't explain it. But if you are in a serious relationship, or if you married, like, you will probably understand what I mean. And even that's not even to say that she shouldn't work with men, because I work with men. I work with more men than I do women. But there are boundaries, and there definitely should not be any relationships with men or women, because it can happen with a woman too, that is closer or more intimate. And when I say intimate, meaning there's certain details being shared, there's certain time that you're spending. Nobody should ever be spending that much time knowing that much information with a married person, period. It's just, that this is coming from Glenn that makes it hard to receive, but I think he's right on that. But at the end of the day, like, Letitia, you're married, but you're planning for in case y'all ain't together. Like, how does that work? Like, what is the point of holding on to? And again, like, I've used the word juvenile. That is a juvenile way of thinking. That is something that I had to, not put my business out there, but early in my marriage, I used to, because I came from a broken home. My parents were divorced. I didn't look at marriage as a life thing, even though that's what we said in our vows, even though that's what we want. I still wasn't at a point where I was looking at it that way, because I felt like I needed to protect myself. Like, I'm a woman, I gotta have my own. And that type of attitude does affect a marriage. Women, like, especially single women, a lot of women don't want to hear that. I'm not saying that it is the end all be all in a marriage, but the threat from that type of behavior, that way of thinking is real. And it does prevent you from moving as a unit. How can you move as a unit if you're planning for it not working out. Like it just don't make sense. I think that they should just get a divorce. Cause on top of that, Tisha wants to be celibate. Celibacy is not about getting clarity. Celibacy is saving yourself for your husband. Ma'am, you're married. If you don't want to have sex with him, you blocking him from building with you, which is what you said you wanted. You need to divorce him. And I'm going to say, Glenn, divorce her. Because at the end of the day, y'all both are going to be unhappy. If she doesn't want to move, he is clearly not down with this celibacy, which is even crazy for a married woman to say. Get a divorce and save us all of the drama. Save us, okay? Save us and just get the divorce because he's trying to make it work. Maybe too little, too late. They shouldn't even be in this position. They're in this position, not all because of him, but mainly because of him. But he's trying to make it work. It's like he's lost. It's too late. So instead of stringing him along, Tisha, just divorce the man. Like if you don't want to build with him, you don't want to have sex with him, you don't want to kiss him in public, you don't just leave him. Glenn, leave her. He said he know his worth. Leave her. And then y'all both will be able to be happy. But that's all I got for Belle Collective. They stressing me out. Because I just don't understand why some of the arguments they're having are being had. Like we're watching this big beef with Latrice and Letitia over somebody making a phone call when y'all both have admitted or both have been caught finding information on other people. So y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Rate it for me in the comments. I want to see your rating from 1 to 10. I'm going to give this episode, just like I gave the last one, a 7, because it did give us some things to talk about, but it's just not moving. It's not getting us anywhere. And I don't know, like some people are saying this show may have run its course if they don't make a switch. That's all there is to it, honestly, That's what I think. So yeah, I'm interested in hearing what y'all think about this episode. What y'all thought about my review. Don't come for me in the comments. I'm not Team Glenn, but I do think he made some valid points this episode. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.